What's a company you'll never buy from again, and why? HP? The fact that I cannot print a simple black and white document because I am low on cyan is one of the biggest scams in history. I love my brother laser printer. I will never go back to anything but laser. Screw the ink printer industry. Thanks to comments like this on Reddit, I went and bought a brother last year. Couldn't be happier with it. When priced by the gallon, blood is cheaper than printer ink. That being said, start printing in blood. Does it come in cyan? Printer technology in general feels like it's still complete dog's shit. It's more so that it evolved to try to artificially get as much money as possible instead of trying to make it user-friendly. It's weird because computers and phones never really went that way. But printers actively try to make themselves as excruciatingly bad as possible so you'll spend more. Airbnb, took a trip. Stayed in a condo on the beach. Condo has no physical key, only RFID. Go to the beach for 2 hours. Come back to condo. All of our belongings are gone. Inch of appliances still there. Only bags gone. No sign of forced entry. Called police to make a report. Homeowner would not provide door logs. Called Airbnb to get money back. Haha, nope. No refunds. They did not even care. Homeowner had door logs and would not provide. Left a 1-star review that Airbnb removed promptly. I knew that was the most chicken hawking of greedy, probably conspired with homeowners to steal from customers, company. Never again. Get a hotel, folks. Airbnb will rob you. They will let hosts get away with an insane amount of shit that is against policy, or downright illegal, just to keep their properties on the platform. I've had hosts demand a security deposit of hundreds of euros outside the platform or increase the price after a reservation is made because they felt they could get more money, with zero consequences for the hosts. I had a guy ask for a security deposit in Brooklyn, after I was already in the apartment. I just showed him my confirmation email stating that I was fully paid, and told him I wasn't giving him any more money. They once refused to refund my trip despite a Cat 4 hurricane heading directly to where I was staying and the area was evacuated with no water or electricity. That was a quick call with my credit card company to Ellen the chargeback. We've entered a weird timeline where the credit card companies are the good guys sticking up for the common people. We had something similar happen with a hotel. There was a wildfire in the area that took out the electricity for the hotel and they refused to give us a refund. I sent a copy of the headlines from the local news station to my credit card company to get the chargeback. Airbnb are a shit stain that ruin communities across the world. People buy up local housing just to make money from it. The result is part of the reason why house prices are so high today. Correct. At one point a few years ago, there were more Airbnb listings than actual homes for sale in the Nashville area. I've had clients I've worked with in real estate list their homes for way too much money, and then just threaten to convert them to Airbnbs if they can't get what they want for them. It's beyond disgusting. Any smart appliance with ads? The company has lost my trust forever. Any smart appliance that requires connection to internet. Consumer surveillance is a thing. When I buy an oven, I want it to oven. When I buy a fridge, I want it to fridge. When I buy a dishwasher, I want it to wash dishes. These are relatively simple machines. Just do what I want you to do and nothing more. My new oven required me to create a Samsung account and connect the oven to the Wi-Fi just so I could change the clock. Total scam and obvious surveillance. Will never buy another one again. I would rather hike to the top of a glacier and cut out a chunk of ice before I buy a refrigerator that makes you watch an ad on its display during or before it will dispense ice. Samsung for me. My phone and TV had Samsung bloatware and they shoved ads down my throat. Not sure if they stopped that shit, but I'll never bother to find out. One and done. Good year. My dad worked for them at a plant for 27 years, he died working there. They had recently sold out the plant to another company, but didn't tell the employees they would lose all their retirement. He got $135 for 27 years of service due to the class action lawsuit. My grandmother made tire molds for them for decades and in the end they shut down the plant and sent it to Mexico and forced her to take a janitorial position for the last few years in order for her to get her retirement. I'm actually shocked they even allowed a spot so she would get that retirement. I loathe how we have let greed take over our country. Taxes and regulations actually help the most people. We've let rich people convince us to vote for their interests. Taxes and regs do not help rich people. I avoid Nestle wherever possible. It sucks. I've switched water delivery brands no less than 5 times in as many years and Nestle keeps buying up the little companies and ruining them in every way. Going through it right now, again, in fact. Put in an RO filter system. I have one and it's great. Fresh bottled water on tap at the sink, and I have it connected to the ice maker in my fridge too, for fresh ice. It's also the same process that is used for most bottled water. 4 of the filters last a year and the other 2 last 3. Far less plastic in the garbage. Plus, because I have that system, I use it for cooking too. No more Nestle or any other big company. Just me, my RO system, and my Yeti or Camelback. There are many manufacturers, but this is the one that I have, and I've been using it for about 5 years now. https://www.waypackwater.com/products/ROPH90 detail. Fuck Nestle. https://wyomingmilkattorney.com/blog/everything owned by Nestle. DuPont. They poisoned the world, then got off scot-free. Now, don't post misinformation. They're still poisoning the world. They're coated in Teflon. Did you eat anything to stick? I grew up in a town that had a DuPont factory/plant. Nearly every single person in my family has died from cancer. I'm not stating that it's definitely the cause, but it certainly wasn't helpful in any way. Tesla Solar. Complete and total scam. Had a roof leak. Tesla said they will come and fix it, but if it was not caused by them, then I had to pay a $600 fee. Sure, works for me. Fair price. They came out, removed all of the panels, and then 3 months to investigate the leak. Finding it was not their fault and they do not actually repair leaks. And that they are going to charge me $5,000 to put the panels back on when the leak is repaired. So I found someone to repair the leak, and they revealed to me there were multiple leaks, all caused by Tesla's solar mounts being installed incorrectly, and most of them were cracked and broken by a poor install as well. Meaning the panels may have fallen off. I moved control of the system over to a new company and will never be working with Tesla ever again. Speaking with 6 different roof companies. They said they have heard this story 1000x about Tesla Solar. They are constantly coming out for poor installs and scams like this. Speaking with solar contractors, some of them even guessed, let me guess, Tesla/Solar City. It is widespread and well known in the industry. Before Musk was super popular, I had heard about their solar roofing tiles and I was really excited about it. It was completely out of my price range, but I hoped that maybe in a few years, the prices would come down and I could look into it. Then Musk started getting really vocal on social media and I decided I'd never buy from Tesla because Musk is a fucking asshole. Yep, I'll never purchase a thing from Tesla. But management approved his $1 trillion pay package because the entire company has long been propped up on his cult of personality and not anything related to fundamentals, so he can say or do pretty much anything and they will keep giving him money to stay. Musk bought the solar company because his cousins owned it and needed help. The tiles unfortunately were never practical or cost-effective. Tesla Solar tries to make the panels cheap. There are other solar cell providers with better tech and reputations out there. An obese passenger bought 2 tickets on United, aisle seat and middle seat. I was in the window seat of the same row. United overbooked the flight, surprise surprise, and sat a full-grown man in her extra seat. We were all uncomfortably cramped on the 4-hour flight. But she paid for 2 seats. I don't understand. Like she voluntarily paid for the 2 seats. She wasn't forced to buy another one. I know this is nitpicky or whatever, but it feels wrong. Wrong enough that I would rather fly Spirit. Every airline does this, which is an absurd policy. They basically plan on people not showing up. That's why telling obese passengers to buy 2 plane tickets will never be a good solution to the seat space issue. Surprised it's this far down. I swore off United Airlines over a decade ago and will never fly with them again. Including those operated by flights selling under other airlines' names. Like you said, overbooked, surprise surprise. In myriad ways, they've screwed up every flight I'd ever taken with them. Not worth the slightly cheaper fare when you end up paying for it in time and accommodations due to their delays. Wells Fargo, scammy bank, they're the worst. They should have been put out of business and C-suite jailed so many times. WF is consistently scammy. Anything they offer ends up costing me money. Best strategy is to never engage. I've had my checking account with WF since I was a teen getting my first job. I've never experienced anything of what's been reported. Maybe I'm lucky, maybe they just like me a lot. But the thought of closing the account and opening elsewhere just feels like a huge pain in the ass. Even though I know it's such a simple thing. Maybe it's Stockholm Syndrome? I dunno.